Well, we're here once again with Karen Harrington, who's running in Florida for the 23rd. That's right, 23rd District, House of Representatives. And last time that we met was in Minneapolis, and a bit of controversy stirred up over some comments that you made, but that's been easily refuted, I believe. But my question for you to start out with is how did that experience of all that, furor, did it change your direction, or did it solidify your direction in your campaign?
Well, do you want to be, for me to understand the question fully, do you want to be more specific as to which?
It was the Jewish question, if you recall. We were talking about how Israel, how you would consider Israel if you had become a representative, and Wasserman Schultz took that all out of context and went nutty about it.
Well, that's what she tends to do,
right,
because
right.
She's going to continue to stand unequivocally by this president regardless. And we do have a weaker position with Israel as our strongest ally in the past, and we've got to make sure that relationship comes back together. And she won't step outside the circle of anything that has to do with this president, both because she's DNC chair, and she supports him. But it's important that she comes home to the district and doesn't lie to the people. And that's basically what she's done. And I can get out there and I can tell the truth because I've lived there for 43 years, and I understand the Jewish people and the community. I don't have to be Jewish to know the facts and the truth, and that's what the people of South Florida need to hear.
Well, and she's certainly been making some crazy comments over the last months. Have you seen any dip in her, favorabilities back home when she goes out on the road and makes these, statements and equivocates on, on TV, on Sunday morning shows, won't answer questions directly,
Well, it's so different from 2010 to now because she's so much more polarizing, and she's put herself out there for the party and the president. So I can tell you now, Warren, as I knock on doors and talk to people, we are getting tremendous support. And it's not just the Jewish community, because you're exactly right. She doesn't answer the question. She spins everything, and she makes people believe things that just aren't true. So as I knock on doors, Democrats, Independents, and Republicans are saying that, Karen, we want to give a local girl like yourself who's been in the community her whole life and run a business, we want to give you an opportunity, because it's not going to come down to party this time. We saw it in Wisconsin. People are looking for principled people with good policies, and they're not going to honor their party anymore. I think people are really willing to step outside that to do what's best for the country, and it's resonating in our district as well.
Well, and certainly the job situation is not improving in this country in any way, shape, or form. Well, let's give you a chance. What would you do about that as a representative from Florida?
Well, I can tell you, Warren, as a business owner, here we go again. We're going to face the tax, going up at the end of the year. Here we are in the middle of the summer. We can't even make a decision 6 months before the end of the year. This will probably take place during the lame duck session. So I can tell you, as a business owner, I'm not going to do anything with my money. Individually, as a person, I'm not going to invest it. I'm not sure where to go, what to do, or where to put it. So this government must continue to stop this partisanship and give Americans hope for the future of what to do with their businesses and their personal money. So that's the number one thing I would do. We don't need a short-term plan. We need a long-term plan. We need investors and people in business to look forward 3 to 5 years out. So tackling the tax code for me as a business owner would be the number one issue. And of course, regulations are huge. And we just see now the coal industry is under attack, one of our prime resources for energy. We cannot have the threat of our government reining in on our businesses or our energy. So those are important issues.
Yes, indeed. Well, one of the last questions I have here in our interview with Karen Harrington, running for the 23rd District in Florida, House of Representatives, Washington, D.C. Scott Walker in Wisconsin proved that the public employees unions are not the lock on power that everyone thought they were, especially in as left-leaning a state as Wisconsin. How has that impacted your outlook in Florida, this idea that perhaps we can finally start trimming the sails of public employees unions?
Well, in Florida, what's good about us is we're a right-to-work state.
Right.
And our governor, Rick Scott, has taken strong measures, too, to bring business into Florida. And we want companies to be able to do that without the threat of unions coming in and taking a strong hold of that. So it's very important to us in the state. So I view that message as America realizes we can no longer continue to fund these pensions for union and state workers that now add up to about $4 trillion. It's detrimental to our future and our country. And we're definitely seeing that happen in Wisconsin. We want everyone to have fair representation. We just don't want the unions, driving municipalities
Right.
and our state government and up to our federal level out of business. And that's basically what the unions are doing. They let the worker think that they're working for them, but yet they carry six-figure salaries and they have to be accounted for.
Right, yeah, the union bosses are making money right and left in those six-figure salaries, and
Absolutely.
while they're bleeding dry the little guy down the line. I'm from Chicago, so I see that quite a bit. We have a governor that is just losing his mind to bend over backwards for unions. Although on one hand he pretends to say that he wants to fix pensions, but there's no indication of it.
Right.
But well, in any case, me rambling on, this was supposed to be about Karen Harrington, who is running for the 23rd District in Florida, a great House seat down there. Now, my last question for you is, have you had any interaction with Alan West? Everyone, in the conservative circles, he's a rock star. So have you really had any interaction with him?
Yeah, he's a terrific guy personally, and he's been a great congressman for us in South Florida. So he brings a lot of notoriety to Florida, as well as Marco Rubio. And he's now moved one district north of me, so he's
Right.
a little bit away from me. But I've met with him a few times up in D.C. as well, and I asked him what was different from himself running the first time and losing like I did, but yet doing good numbers. What was the difference for him, and what advice could he give me? And he simply said to me over a year ago, he goes, "Karen, time. Now you have time on your side. Go out there, work hard. I know you're a hard worker. That's why you got almost 40% the first time. Continue your conservative message. Stay strong. And the people will start to resonate and realize that you're a businesswoman that understands government too, as well as regulations and taxes. And you're going to go out there and work for them. So just continue." He said, "Time is on your side. Just continue with your message." So he's a terrific example of what can happen in a district in South Florida that's in Broward County, that's more Democrats to Republican. If you continue with your message, they'll start to learn to trust you and understand that you want to work for the people.
Well, thanks very much, Karen Harrington. We'll be watching your election here in a few months, and we will got our fingers crossed for you.
Well, thank you, Warren.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, and they can find out more about me on KarenForCongress.com.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks.